And if you could let me share my screen.
Yeah, you can give co-host to Dan, and that should let me.
I'll share your screen.
Get my KB core. Yep.
While he's getting that pulled up, I'll kind of walk us through what we'll be covering today, and I think it'll be beneficial for everybody. This was something that I used to do quite frequently when I was in production, and it's kind of going off what we talked about. I think did we cover it last Friday? Maybe with an agent. I think that was doing it with the reels, but um, essentially creating squeeze pages. And let me go ahead and request remote control. What we're going to do today is for anybody that's not currently running a funnel, this is probably what I would be focused on um, in terms of trying to generate some organic traffic. For the people that are running a funnel, this is something you can also be doing alternatively to generate leads outside of the funnel that you're running. Okay. Um, and so what we'll be doing here is jumping into all lead engine tools, and then we're going to go to build a squeeze page.
Hey, real quick, Braden. Kathleen, this is being recorded. I can't see that on my computer right
It
now.
is.
Okay, good. We're good to go then. Thank you.
Dan, give me a city location.
You can do Marietta. Marietta.
Okay, so here's the thing with this. This is all super customizable as to what you want it to be. So we could do a city, we could do a school district, we could do a county if we wanted to. I personally think city specific is always best case scenario, as that's what we typically run when we run a funnel. Um, but we'll choose Marietta as our city for this one. Let's move into the listing types. This is also customizable. Um, I'm going to do single family, but this is also something you could do for condos. This is something you could do for townhouses. This will all tie together here at the end of this of why you would want it to be customizable, because what you should be doing with this, what I was doing was probably 3 to 4 times a week I was generating a new one of these, a different type of one of these. Okay. Um, and so I'm going to do single family here. Um, let's look at our price range. We could build this on a price range preference. We could build this on a square foot. We could build this on a beds and bath. So the point I'm getting at with, I could say, check out all these new construction homes in Marietta under 500,000, or I could do just that. I could do check out all these new construction homes in Marietta that are 3.2 under 400,000, right? So you can get super customizable with how you generate this. And the point being is that it gives you a lot of different, variables, I guess, in a sense, to be able to have different types of links that you can post. And we'll get into where we're posting that and whatnot here in a second. But so we've got City Marietta, single family. We're going to come in here. Options. This is also another thing that you can choose from. So the just listed, newly built, which would be new construction, which is what I'll do. But I want to talk through some of these, some other ones. Adult 55, you could do that. Golf course, right? Homes with a pool, waterfront, water view, price reduced, um, foreclosure, short sales. I don't know if anything is going to come up with that. It depends on your MLS. Um, there's all sorts of different options you have in here on what you can come up with. But we're going to do new construction for now. So that's going to be newly built. Let me find it here. So we'll put newly built, and then what we're going to do here is in a funnel that we would be running where we're going to be collecting that first, last name, an email and phone number in a form, where we would typically take the property views allowed before registration and we would turn this to never because of that. We're actually going to leave it on 2 default, which means they're able to look through 2 properties before we ask or require that they give us their information to continue to keep looking at these properties. And that's what we need to do, right? Because we're not running a form. We're not running paid advertising that allows us to utilize the form. We are using the squeeze page, I guess, within the landing page here. So the other thing here that I would say you would want to do is we want to put our hashtag in here. And so we're going to do Marietta-NC. You can choose whatever hashtag you want this to be. My opinion is I would make it in alignment with A, the location, and B, the type of option that you do.
What?
So, for example, if it was golf course, you could put GC, pool. You could do Marietta dash pool or P, whatever you want to do. Up to you. But the point of that would be is that I'm going to give y'all the token here in a bit for new construction, and if you haven't already got that funnel running, you could then build the squeeze page based off of, or you could build the drip campaign based off of this hashtag. So we'll generate the link. We'll copy to clipboard and hit paste. Now, A, I'm doing this because I want to make sure it works, but B, mainly because there needs to be obviously properties that populate. If you get in there and you get to customizing it with too tight of credentials or variables there, then it may not populate any homes. But this is populating 51 new construction single family homes within Marietta. Okay. Now, what would happen is if somebody hit this page, they could view 2 properties, and once they viewed 2 properties, it would then require that they opt in, right? That they give us their contact information. Dan, can you take me? I see your Facebook. I'm just going to see if this allows me to. And I exit out of it. But we'll just go back to Facebook. This is where I posted it. So what I would do is I would come in here. I would go to see more. Go to pages. So we've got Dan's Real Estate Solutions. Real Estate Solutions. And where's our? Oh, we've got a switch to it, so we can actually make the post.
And can you do that on a personal page also, or just in a business page?
We'll get into that just in 1 second.
Okay.
Answer is yes, but I'll show you why you want to do it this way. So, what I like to do is what's on your mind. Paste our link. Did something pop up that I'm not being able to see there, Dan?
Nope, not that I know of. That says what's on your mind, and you're at the create post. There you go.
There it is. All right. So we see here, guys, that this should populate an image. Now, I believe if we were to go back to KV Core, the Facebook cover photo you can choose. So use recent listings from your agency, use low price listing, use high price listings, use random listings, use photo from specific listing. So you can kind of tailor that to whatever you want. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of that rendering photo. This is not as big of a deal as an ad, but Same concept goes into, when we're picking the image for a funnel for an ad, right? We always want to make sure it's something that's attractable. So maybe with this one we'll regenerate it real quick. Let's do used high priced listing. What are the options here? High priced. Would probably use photo from specific listing, but I don't know exactly what that's going to take us to. For sake of time, I'm probably not going to do that. Used high price listing. Let's see. The only thing I don't like about that is even if outside of search results is questionable. I don't know exactly what that means. Let's see what happens here. Let's repost this link. Looks like it's still the same image. Yeah. So what I would do is make sure that I pick the image, just because I'm not a big fan of that, right? So here's what we could do with this. And there's really no right or wrong answer. I mean, there's probably some wrong answers, but however you want to state this, but it should say something along the lines of this. Check out all new construction homes. Now, you could get as fancy as you want with this. We could go to Emojipedia and get the emoji with the arrow down. You could go and put a heart up there or a house emoji before check. You can get as customizable with this as you want. But this is just the example for the new construction one. So check out all the new construction homes in Marietta by clicking the link below. You could even check out all the incentives that are available for these new construction homes in Marietta by clicking the link below. Let's say we did something in the price range. Check out all the new construction homes under 500,000 in Marietta by clicking the link below. If you're going to do price range, I always say kind of drop a little bit below the average is usually kind of, a hot spot, for people trying to find a good deal. But essentially, you would just want this tailored to whatever you've got there generated on the squeeze page. So I'm just gonna roll with this. Nothing too fancy, right? Just check out all the new construction homes in Marietta by clicking the link below, and then you could go ahead and post this. Now back to what Dan was saying, and bear with me because I haven't done this in a while. But I believe what we could do here is view as, which the point of what we're wanting to get to is we want to be interacting with our page as our personal page. Right now, remember if we earlier what we did was we came in and we wanted to manage the page, right? So to manage the page, we had to be in full control of Dan's Real Estate Solutions. Essentially, what we're saying now is we want to go back to how it was originally. We want to be viewing it as our personal page, right? Viewing our business page from our personal page, if that makes sense. So let's see here. I think the way to do that would be is come back, select our profile. So we're now back as our personal page. We're going to go home. We're going to go see more. We're going to go back to our pages. There used to be a easier way to do this, but we're going to click on our page again. All right, so we're back to how it was, right? Switch now is what it had us do earlier. But what you can do now is, because what people are going to say is, well, hey, listen, I don't have a big following or a ton of people liking my business page, right? So what we want to do is come back as our personal page, and we want to share, I believe is what we want to do. And now we can share this. Dan, I'll delete it, but can I share it real quick to your personal page?
Yep.
So we'll share now. Okay. The point of what's happening here is we've now created a post on our business page where anybody following that business page would see it and can click on it. But we've also came back as our personal page and shared our business page's post to our personal page. So if we come back to home, now we see here that Dan, as his personal page, has shared his business page post. Reason for that is one, this can drive some exposure to your business page from your personal relationships, right? That's really the main thing there is that you're getting access to. Could you come in as just a personal page and make that post? Of course. But I think it's always best case scenario is to get people coming to our business page because they may come in there and they may start following that business page. Who knows? So that's the first step of this, right? We've made our post on our business page, and then we've come through and we've shared it to our personal page. So we're not only getting the exposure from our business page following, we're also getting the exposure from all of our personal relationships from our personal account. Dan, I'll go ahead and delete this unless you want it up for some reason.
Yeah, you can delete it. That's fine. Just good for example purposes. Thank you.
Yeah. Move to trash. So I'm going to put something in the chat box, guys. It is going to be the new construction token. So I'm going to copy this, paste this in here. Even if you're, save this if you're not following along with me and you're going to do it later, save that. Because here's what you're going to want to do with that. Let's go back to our KV core. Let's go to our all marketing. We're going to go to smart campaigns. What you would do with that token is up here on the right hand side where it says add campaign. And then there's the little green button, green square, where it says please enter a campaign token. We would then paste that in there, which, Dan, I think I would have to have you do it since it's copied on my end. Here's what's going to happen, though, because this is already in here. I'll just show you what it'll look like, because that campaign should be in here, right, Dan?
Yep.
So if you really wanted to get fancy, when you populate that in there, what's going to happen is it's going to come in here as it's going to say Menifee. Menifee, California is where it's built at. But what you would want to do is if I wanted to, you can either clone it or edit it. I'm going to clone this for the sake of not disrupting our Powder Springs campaign. But you could edit it. It would be the same concept. But if we were to clone this campaign, now what I would want to make sure is that whatever a hashtag I put in that squeeze page, right, which we did Marietta-NC, I'm also replicating that here. So Marietta NC, we're going to hit next. It is for a buyer. We're going to leave that. We're going to change this from Powder Springs to Marietta. We're going to hit next, finish. And then there would be a couple other things that you would want to edit in here, which would be the first page or the first text here. So this would need to be changed to Marietta. And then what you do is you copy the name, copy, paste here, save. Now follow along. This is going to get a little confusing because I'm going to have to back out of this campaign real quick, okay? Because what I need next for my email is the squeeze page. I'll show you what that looks like and why. So the second one is the email. This is a clickable link with all of those new construction homes, right? So what I would need to do here is jump back into build squeeze page. Here's the cool thing though. We can go to history. The last squeeze page we just built, which would be this one in Marietta. I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to come back to my smart campaign. So where we just were, I'm going to find that campaign we were working on, which would have been Marietta new construction. I'm just going to search it because we've got quite a few in here. Let's see what comes up here. I'm going to click into it. I'm going to go back to that the first email, the second trigger in there. I'm going to change Powder Springs in the subject line. I'm going to change it here in the body right here of the email. I'm going to come and click on our link, and then I'm going to hit the chain link that's highlighted up top there, the insert edit link. I'm going to remove that link, paste our new link, and then I'm going to change where it says there in the text to display, Marietta. Save that, copy our name again, copy, okay, paste, save changes. There's one other one that would need to be changed, which would be the second email. That subject line has Powder Springs in it as well. Copy that, name, repaste it, save changes. Now I would come in here and turn my campaign active. Now what we've done is anybody that has clicked on that post that we made, viewed two properties, submitted their information, would come through with that hashtag, and now the same campaign that we're running on any of our funnels right now would then trigger with a 2-minute text, a 3-minute email. The next day they'd get an email, and then for several days later they'd get more text messages engaging with that lead. Okay. What I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to add another token in here. This other token that I'm going to add is going to be the just listed token. And the reason I'm going to add the just listed token, let me put this here, paste, is that I would also add that campaign in there. And here's kind of the thing with this. Transparently, there's so many different options of what we could build, right? It's going to be kind of difficult to have you don't want to come in here and have, well, this is my campaign for under 500,000 and then this location, because you could do so many different locations and so many different variations of this. So if it was me, I would take the just listed one and I would probably only make it specific to the location, which is kind of the way we do things with this, which is in any of these text here where it has the location, you could then change that location. The only difference is with this just listed one, it's going to say new construction. So you're going to have kind of two variations that you can play around with and make as specific as you want. And then that way, when you go and create the hashtag, just make sure that when you duplicate or clone, you would be cloning these campaigns for as many different ways as you would want. You could do that. You would just need to make sure that all of the locations are in alignment, and just check through any of the verbiage in here if it doesn't make sense. For example, and this is why I say you would probably want to use the just listed one to do this, because like this is specific to new construction. Are there any builders or communities you're interested in specifically? I believe like if I show you guys, because that's going to be hard to rewrite for resale. So like if we come back and go to, I think do you have a just listed in here, Dan?
I'm not sure. I think that was next. I don't think I do.
I don't think you do either. If I was to guess, I don't think so. But like for example, I believe are you only interested in resale, or are you open to new construction as well? That's something that's pretty generic, that even if we did homes with a pool or price reduction or golf course communities, that would be something that you could probably use a little more generically, if that makes sense.
I
Um,
got a quick question. I've got,
yeah.
'cause I've got a coaching call I gotta get to. I can leave you guys on the screen, but, on the two tokens that you put in there, Kathleen, are you able to go onto the chat, please, and then copy those? So when you put them on Agent Builders, because if someone's watching the video, try to figure this out. I want them to be able to have the tokens. And, so Kathleen, are you able to do that for us?
First one, we just need to label new construction. Second one, we just need to label just listed.
Okay, if not, Braden, if you could just copy those and get them to me, I'll get them in Agent
I've
Builder.
got them in documents, so I can get them over to you.
Okay, that's awesome. And then, I had another question. Oh, so just a thought. Been blessed to know a couple of top KV core trainers on the planet. And one of them in particular, I asked her one time, I said, if agents were going to do just one thing in KV core, just one thing, what would it be? She said, well, two things, but to answer your question, single property squeeze pages. They're free, they're easy, generate the leads, put the links out. And I said, what would the second thing be? She said, multi property squeeze pages, multiple property squeeze pages. She goes, I don't know what, she goes, if you would just do that every day for 30 days, you'd have a deal, probably.
I guarantee you, and she is not wrong,
Yep.
because I had a lady that came in, and it was just a weird deal how it happened. I don't even know why I thought to teach her it, but it happened probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I had a lady that came in, and she was with EXP, but she wasn't in our group, and she couldn't afford the funnels and whatnot. I said, well, here, let me just show you a squeeze page real quick. And she generated 5 leads that day by posting the new construction one. Put a deal under contract, comes back, starts running funnels, changed her business. And so what Dan was talking about here is on this IDX squeeze page, when we start building it, you have the option to do this on a multi-property, or you have this option to do this on a single property. You've got seller squeeze and market report. We may cover those some other times. Those are more listing side of the business. But what that means is a multi-property means we're going to generate multiple properties that fit this criteria. A single property is going to be a little bit different. We may cover this next time, but for anybody that wants to do some, digging on their own and kind of figuring this out, essentially, if you know there's a hot listing that looks well in terms of the image that's being used on the MLS, it's in a super good price point, and typically average price point is a good way to do that. I've also seen some cool stuff done on, the super high price point, just getting people in the system, looking at nice, high, expensive price point homes. Not necessarily as that's what they're going to purchase, but just curious, get building more leads in your database, which is never a bad thing. But aside of that, essentially creating a single property with the same concept there, right? And this is something that I promise you, if you didn't have the budget, you couldn't figure out a way to get the budget to run funnels, you could take these squeeze pages with different variations each day, and you could never, I say never. Eventually, realistically, you probably could some way, somehow, over the course of long enough. But you could come up with enough variations that I promise you, if you did it every day for 30 days, you would generate an opportunity that you could probably put under contract within the next 2 to 3 months. Now, the one thing that you would want to get a little bit creative with is where you're posting it, because this link is just something that could be posted anywhere, right? You could start doing stuff on Facebook Marketplace. You could start doing stuff on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, there's all sorts of different platforms of where you could be posting these, but it's the same concept, right? Once this part is built, all you have to do is take that squeeze page, get your little phrase together that we came up with, check out all the whatever, and post it. And if you did that every day, I guarantee you would be generating some leads. A, they would be free leads. B, you'd have something under contract. I would guess within 60 to 90 days from that. if you were consistently doing it.
Yeah, for sure. That's what she said. She goes, just the struggle is in the 30 days, but she goes, just if you could have no money at all and do this for 30 days and then get a little bit better at it and then engage agents. I mean, engage in with your contacts, you'll have a deal. So if anybody wants, we're going to have the recording on this on Agent Builder. If anybody wants to go a little deeper, just call me and then we'll talk about it. And then if we need to, then we can have an agreement on your understanding on what this is. If you truly need help, I'm going to help you. So reach out to me if it's something you really want to do. We'll have a conversation, and then I'll help you figure it out. And then with Braden's help down the road. But at first, you gotta get to me to get to into the process. But if you don't need that, it's going to be an agent builder, and you can go in there and we try to do it step by step where you can follow. But hey, Braden, I appreciate you. I got to get on this coaching call. But if anybody needs my free day after 3.
Guys, been out.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Y'all holler at me if you need me.
Thank you for hopping on the webinar today with Braden Kinder, James Massey, and myself. What I'd like for you to do, if you want to, is hop on my calendar for about a 10-15 minute. I block off 20 minutes on the call, but it's usually like 5-10 minute call, a strategy call. Be happy to answer any questions, tell you exactly how the program works, tell you about the free version, the low cost version, and well, it's the no cost. I don't like saying free, but no cost version, low cost version, and then how we can help you with consistent lead flow, consistent, predictable closings, adding about 1 to 2 closings additional to what you're doing a month to your pipelines. Very realistic. A lot more to the program than we talked about today in the meeting. We also have weekly trainings. We have one-on-one. We have call groups. We have anything and everything you need to help you to be successful in this market and just to thrive. So give me a call, you can give me a call, 678-907-1853, or hop on my calendar. You can scan the QR code or just go to dansleadsclass.com/call. Schedule a call. Happy to talk to you, see if I can help you in your real estate business, and glad to help you any way I can. So hop on my calendar or give me a call. Talk to you soon.